Hi, I'm Kat and I play red. It's that time of year again. Essen Spiel is 2 weeks. 2 weeks today will be the first official day. Hopefully we get a good spot in the car park again this year. So we're going to have a look at some of the changes this year and some of the stuff we're looking forward to. Firstly, we need to congratulate Spiel on its 40th anniversary. This will be our 12th year, but it is the 40th anniversary of Spiel. This year they have changed the logo that they've had for all this time, and now we have an incredibly cute cat called Meeps as their new logo, which obviously I approve of. It's also ginger red cat, even better. The other thing that's happened is there's been a big change to how the halls are going to be arranged, which will be interesting. We have got, in Hall 1, we're going to have the RPG stuff, the collectible card games, and the miniature stuff. And Hall 3, which is the biggest hall when you first kind of go in, is going to be, what do they call it? Connoisseur and expert games. So I suspect that's where we're going to be spending most of our time. Halls 2, 4, 5 and 6 are going to be family games, from simple children's games to light connoisseur games. So we'll probably have a look around there, but it does seem like now the bulk of our time is going to be spent in Hall 3. So we'll see what that realistically means when we get there. The new map plans are available now. I'll make sure I put the links below. So if you're planning your route, you can have a look at them. Let's have a look at our route. I'm going to start with expansions. This is quite a good year for expansions. The first thing we've got is Faiyum, privileges. Faiyum seemed to fly under the radar a bit. The first game we played, it really frustrated me because it's definitely one of those games you need to play to work out how to play. We enjoy that. There is new expansion coming out. We have new privileges to gain one-time and permanent advantages. This is the first expansion for Faiyum. Permanent effects are going to change or add effects to your cards. So that's going to be interesting. I imagine it's going to be quite cheap. I don't know if we've got a price for that yet. Obviously, it's Freedom and Freeze. It's from 2F Games. I'm not a huge fan of his games. He's a very nice man, but we do like Faiyum, so I'm looking forward to that. Next up, we have Furnace Interbellum. I really enjoyed Furnace. It's a super interesting take on an auction game. Now, Interbellum, I didn't know this, I learnt stuff. The Interbellum is actually the period between the two world wars, so the 20s and 30s. So this is set in that time period. We've got new company cards, new capitalists, manager tokens, variable capital discs. Going to take it up to 5 players for even more auction mayhem. And new agents for 2-player and single-player games. That will be quite interesting. The 2-player version was fine, but it wasn't great, so I'm looking forward to that. And obviously, it's also all based in the epoch of Art Deco and Bauhaus, so pretty stylish. It's pretty stylish anyway, but even more so. Next up, we have Sea Salt and Paper Extra Salt. This is really cheap. I think it's like €5 from Bombix Games. 8 new cards to add to Sea Salt and paper. We've been playing this a bit on Board Game Arena, you know, to get ready and prepared. We've got seahorses, starfishes, jellyfishes, 5 new effects on 8 different cards. So I think I'm going to be grabbing quite a big handful of those for people. Next, one of the good old favourites, we have two new Concordia maps. We have Roma and Sicilia, MacGert's PD Verlag, obviously. I was lucky enough to play, I think it was Roma. Roma is the one I played. This has got a completely different track for your boats. You're going to go up there, you're going to get bonuses. Sicilia, we've got eruptions from Mount Etna. So totally new things added onto the map. We love us some Concordia. I did terribly badly in my game of Roma. I'm going to blame it on the fact I was playing a foreign version copy and couldn't remember what I was doing. So there's that. Last but not least, in our expansions, we have Orleans the Plague. I really like Orleans. Probably my favourite of the bag builders out there. It's probably one of the heavier bag builders, which is why. This is Rainer Stockhausen, DLP Games. We've got plagues. It seems to be a bit of a theme recently. We've got rat cards. So sometimes there are going to be fewer monks in the game. Sometimes there's going to be no gears. So these, I guess the rat cards are kind of like events, but they're always bad. We've got corpse tokens as well, which we approve of. So from what I can tell, that is going to change quite a bit of stuff. Each player is going to have a plague doctor, which can be used universally. So that sounds interesting. Sounds like a lot of new mechanics. So our top 5 expansions: Faiyum Privileges, Furnace Interbellum, Sea Salt and Paper, Extra Salt, Concordia, Roma and Sicilia, and Orleans the Plague. Now, if you've been keeping an eye, you'll see the Essen new release list has now got officially over 1,000 titles on. And of course, we know there's stuff that won't be on that list that will be a new release. So there's so much to look through. I'm giving you 10 picks here. That's not to say they're our favourites. These are the ones that I wanted to talk about. I'm not going to do them in any order either, just to confuse you, because there's too much stuff. And we could be here all day. So we are going to go back to Bombix, back to Board Game Arena. This game we've been playing a bit on there, and it's Knarr. Now this is quite a simple card game, but it's one of those that's quite deceptively clever. You're going to draw Vikings, place them in your tableau, hopefully get stuff for that. And then you're going to trade your Vikings in to gain, what are they called? Destination cards. So you're going to get new destination cards, which in turn help you generate more stuff. If you use the bangles, that you get the bangles by playing the cards. It's one of them. I mean, I'm looking, and Board Game Geek is saying 30 minutes. I guess if you're 4-player, yes. I'd probably put it a bit quicker than that. It's very pretty as well, which we always appreciate. Super fun, and we're going to Bombix for Sea Salt. So, obviously, we'll pick up a copy of Knarr while we're there as well. This one is not going to surprise anyone who knows me even a tiny bit. And that is Evacuation from Delicious Games, Vladimir Sushi. Obviously, this will probably be one of the first things we pick up, even though I've not played Woodcraft enough. But what is enough? Who's to say? So in Evacuation, life on the planet is being burnt away. So everyone is trying to move all the people, the infrastructure and the economy from one planet to another planet in 4 rounds. Yeah, it's a no-brainer. We have got, what have we got? Mechanism, hand management, very typical of his designs, income, pick up and deliver, all the good stuff. I don't need to tell you much about this. If you like his games, you know what to expect. Moving on. One of the games that was a surprise to us last year was Applejack from Game Builders. And this year, Game Builders are releasing Planta Nubo. Now, this is a co-design from Michael Keller, Odie and Uwe Rosenberg. So it's got a really good pedigree. Up to 2 hours. It looks beautiful. I think it's kind of like a mid-weight. More plants, but I think this is up a bit from a lot of the other plant and sort of nature-themed games out there at the moment. You're going to be growing energy-rich flowers and plants in cloudy gardens. Deliver them to airships to transport them, sow woods, loads of stuff. You're trying to produce oxygen, which I'm running out of. Moving on. This is a bit of a weird one. This is free. You get 3 for 1 here. 50 clues. These are designed by Jeppe Norska. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. The publisher is Norska Games. Now, 50 clues are a set of immersive escape rooms. They're reusable ones. You use them with an app so you can reset the cards and give them to a friend. The one difference with these is these are not family friendly. These are quite dark. These take you to some quite uncomfortable places, which we like. I appreciate it's not for everyone, but we definitely like them. This is the 3rd series. This is No Sign of Life, Down in the Depths, and The Last Journey. They play in about 90 minutes each, and it's a kind of put stuff together, put the number in the app and it tells you what to do. Fairly standard stuff, but done in a super interesting and unusual way, not for the faint-hearted. Next up we have Tequila. Designed by Ruben Hernandez, publisher Detestable Games. So this is a roll and write. Over the course of 8 rounds, you're going to earn prestige points by managing your tequila farms and agave fields. This is being described as a medium complexity, which I'm quite excited for. We do like the slightly heavier roll and writes. Big fans of Hadrian's Wall. So it's going to be fairly standard roll and write stuff. You're going to get actions that trigger this. But it's an interesting theme as well. We've got lots of games about beer, but I like the idea of a game all about tequila. We can get behind that. Next up we have Celtae. This is Orlando Sa, publisher Pythagoras, who are a great Portuguese company. You should check them out. This is leading the Celts to European expansion. It looks gorgeous. It's a worker swapping game, which I like the idea of. The only other thing I can think of that really implements that well is Raiders of the North Sea, obviously. You've got cards, you've got area majority, hand management, rondel, Loads of stuff going on. I'm super excited. The Portuguese guys make a load of great stuff and don't get the recognition they should. So that is on my list to check out. Next up, we have something silly. Roblins. This is designed by Peter Tillish, produced by Baroque Games. This is a bit of a joke to us. Obviously, you all know Rob. His surname begins with an L. Rob is not a super uncommon name, so he's been known as Robble for years. So Roblins is the automatic progression. It's a 2-player game, half an hour or so. There are 2 goblin clans. One is mean and cunning, and the other is cunning and mean. You are going to be spending gold, hopefully your opponent's gold, to hire new units and build landscape to protect your own treasure from your opponent. Again, this has got lovely artwork. We appreciate the name. It made us smile. That simple. Sometimes that's all you need. Moving on. My eyesight's getting worse. Right, this one again I think is going to be fairly obvious. Nucleum. Simone Luciani, David Tursky, Board and Dice. Board and Dice have been smashing it out of the park recently. Their mid-weight Euro games are just great. Barcelona had a Gen Con release, but will also be available at Essen, but Nucleum is the big one for them, with a weight of 3.96. See, that's why we have to love it. So, do you need anything else? It's a heavy Euro game. You're playing industrialists trying to succeed the boom of the 19th century Saxony, fueled by the invention of Nucleum. Developing networks, building and powering buildings, securing contracts, meeting milestones. I suspect... this is saying gameplay is continuous. Simone Luciani tends to do these limited action games. I'm hoping it's going to be another one of them. We like that. But yeah, they're doing a grand opening of their booth on Thursday morning, and the designers are going to be there cutting the ribbon. They've got a big green booth. Rob will be there because he does love his green. So yes. Next up, we have Footprints from Eilif Svensson, Asmund Svensson, Geir-Andre Wahlquist. Chili Fox Games. Now, we're a big fan of his games, including his Roll and Writes. He's done a couple of them. We enjoy them as well, but we do like his big box games. This is obviously a Stone Age themed game. Modular board, hand management, loads of variables. There's variable player powers, modular board. So the combinations on this are going to be huge. Asymmetric player powers, route planning, engine building. I'm here. 30 to 60 minutes. I think it's going to be a smaller box, so it's going to be a bit cheaper. We appreciate that. And last but not least, again, this is another one that goes without saying, Rats of Wistar. This is Simone Luciani, Danilo Sabia, and this is coming from Cranio Creations. We're old enough, believe it or not, to remember The Secret of Nim. This very much has that vibe. You're playing the role of a rat who has escaped from the Wistar Institute, and you're leading your family to prove you're the most worthy leader of the colony. You've got extraordinary skills because you're an escaped lab rat. This one does have limited turns. This is 5 rounds, equal to the 5 days in which you're trying to do this. And you're going to get points for solving missions with your family, welcoming host mice, building new inventions, building beds, claiming achievements. Again, this looks lovely. It looks a bit brighter than Secret of Nim. Worker placement. Yeah, Cranio and Simone Luciani. Brilliant team. So that is my 5 expansions and 10 games. I'm going to do a couple of honourable mentions. We have finally coming out reprints of 2 really solid, great old Euro games. We have a reissue of ZhanGuo. This is coming from Sorry We Are French. It's designed by Marco Canetti and Stefania Nicolini. We love ZhanGuo. This, I assume there's going to be some rule changes because they always do. Totally different design. It will also be interesting because our copy of the old game is in German. So we have a rubbish printed English rule book. I love ZhanGuo. It makes Rob cry, but I love it. Looking forward to that. It's been a long time coming. And we also have a reprint of Bruxelles 1893, a Belle Epoque. This is Etienne Espressman, and this is coming from Geek Attitude Games, who actually did the card game Brussels with a different year. But this is a reprint of Brussels. Again, I suspect some stuff's going to be changed. I hope they don't mess too much with the lovely Art Deco style. But we'll see. Both of them are games I really love. I like seeing reprints of these games because they're great games. I do worry that they mess stuff up. So we'll keep an open mind and we'll see what happens with those. But I'm excited to see new people that are going to be discovering those great games for the first time. So that's it for now. 2 weeks till Essen. So in 2 weeks' time, we will have done the preview day on Wednesday and day 1 of the actual show. Day 1 of the show for us is very much about running around and grabbing the things that we want to buy. So there'll probably be a shopping bag or 2 to look in on Thursday night. If you enjoyed this video, click like, subscribe. I'll dump a load of lists down below for the new Spiel app, the map, and stuff like that, so you can go and have a look for yourself, and the Spiel list or something. We'll put some links down there. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.